In last week's video, we began the painstaking task of removing decades of old render and layers of non-breathable plasticky paint from yet another wall of our old stone cottage. This week, we continue this labour-intensive task in preparation of repointing in lime mortar so that the walls of our old cottage can breathe once more.
These days are running slow. Sunsets and shores far from home. Headlights are shining on the sea. No place on earth I'd rather be. And I could try to just follow the swell, but I'll never find this anywhere else. To all those places on the wall, and none come close to this, I'm sure. You try to say the sunrise the same, but tell me, have you ever danced in the rain? And I could try to just follow the swell, but I'll never find this anywhere else. Try to just follow the swell, but I'll never find this anywhere else. I'll never find.
It's quite a lot of plants.
It is a lot of plants.
Where are you going to put all these? There's no space in the garden.
They're not for our garden.
They're not for the garden?
No.
What are they for then?
They're for the village.
Ah.
Because we're on the committee,
Yeah.
we're talking about planters and stuff, and I said I'd speak to my work and see if they'd be able to donate any plants for the village to put in all the planters around the village. And the boss said yes.
Oh.
And here we go.
Oh, that's nice. Look at you. Getting integrated as part of the village.
So,
Honestly, Adam, that's such a nice thing to do.
it's something I can do, so I thought, I might as well.
So where are we putting them? Just...
They're going to go on the driveway for now, somewhere. And then we can work out where, well, then I'm going to message everyone who's going to be involved to say, go and get your plants.
Yeah, come on, get your gloves on, give us a hand. Come on, Benji. It's looking like your garden centre in here, Adam.
Sort of a little sign. No, these would be amazing for all the planters around the village.
Yeah, they will. They will. You're such a good lad, aren't you?
Well, I have my uses.
That's community spirit for you, isn't it? What are you doing now?
Gearing up to put our new Crawford John planter in.
Ah.
So there's going to be one going here. I have a Crawford John sign. That's the entrance to the village, but it needs a bit of a
grass cut.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Let's have a look. That'll look really nice. Once the grass is trimmed down a bit and you've got a planter there. A nice little...
Well, we'll see.
Entrance to the village.
One. Yeah. Yeah. Three. Stop. Just turn it.
Got to whiz a ton. That looks alright, doesn't it?
Leave my ivy alone.
Right, we done?
Yeah.
Come on, Benji.
Did you get me crashing?
Yeah.
Oh well, people will like that. Tell you what, I'm actually
It is teeming down today, so our stonemason work on the outside cottage wall has come to a halt for the time being, but also mainly because our neighbour who very kindly lent us his needle gun and air compressor, he needs that back. It's the air compressor is attached to the inside of his van and he needs that back for work this week. However, he is on annual leave next week, so he's very kindly said that he's more than happy to leave his van with the air compressor and needle gun parked outside of the cottage and just give us the keys and we can use it as and when we want. So that's very nice of him, because that is the most challenging part, is we need the needle gun to get all of the white paint off the stones. In the meantime, weather permitting, once it stops raining, we can use the electric tool, I don't know what it's called, the one with the chisel bit, to chip off the old render and continue raking out the old mortar. So we can continue that once it stops raining. It's an electric tool, so obviously electric tools and rain don't mix very well. But until we get the needle gun back, there's not a lot else we can do really. So I'm on a website at the moment, a masonry website, choosing the lime mortar for when we are ready to repoint the wall once we've got all the crap off, so we can just get started on that and get this thing finished. So there's a place in Glasgow which is about an hour's drive away from where we live, so hopefully if we've got this in stock I'll just pop down today and pick that up. I am a little bit concerned, or I was a little bit concerned rather, about the exposed stone wall getting wet from the rain, because it's now no longer covered in the render. But I've did a little bit of research and seemingly it's completely fine.
if the stone wall gets a little bit wet from the rain, it's fine. It's still, having that render off is still doing the wall more good than not taking the render off. So these stone walls, they were always designed to get wet from the rain and then dry out, and get wet and dry out. But with the cement render in place, it wasn't able to dry out. It was just getting wet and wet and wet as the moisture was getting trapped behind it. So the fact that it's raining and it's getting wet, it's now no longer bothering me. It's a dry evening, so I thought there's no point sitting around twiddling my thumbs. I might as well just get out and start getting the rest of this render off, just using the hammer drill. So that's pretty much done now. I just need to wait for Adam to come and remove the gutter so I can remove the last bits of render high up near the gutter. I said earlier, we don't have access to the needle gun this week because the guy we borrowed it from needs it for his work. So I'm going to try and use this wire brush on the grinder, see if this works. Now I tried a little bit earlier, and you do need to be careful because of the speed of it. It almost kind of melts the plasticky paint and drives it further into the stone and creates this weird milky semi-translucent texture to it. And also I don't want to polish the stones, so by going too vigorously with this, it'll end up polishing the stone, and that's not what I want because the lime mortar won't stick to it. So gently does it, a little bit at a time, and see how we get on. So time consuming. Don't know where Adam's buggered off to. Hopefully he's doing food, because what time is it? It's after 8 PM, so I think we better call it a night and go and get some grub. What you're up to?
Making a cage to go over the cabbages and cauliflowers. Stop the cabbage patch butterflies from laying their eggs on them, so they don't get eaten by their caterpillars.
Well, if it keeps the white cabbage butterflies from laying the eggs for the ladybirds to stop them eating the cabbage, then it doesn't really matter how it looks, does it?
Good.
To be honest, I couldn't have done better myself.
Benji, out the way.
It's sunny outside, full of from the sky, and I'm wondering what I do. Just a moment ago, been on the perfect beagle, get following birthday view. I'm not told that I'm born to leave and step behind all the things people do as if it's all of mine. Now I won't, and isn't it funny to have a walking sunlight then? I get them out of my mind. Them all the things I used to do ain't gonna waste my precious time of thinking of what to.
So we've been sent these garden lights by Ollny decor lights. They are outdoor lights for the garden. They can be mains powered or solar powered. We went with the mains powered ones because we don't get a ton of sunshine up here all the time. And our plan is to put them around the hedge now it's cut and along the back of the garden, and so we can see the edge at night when we're trying to pick it in the dark. The good thing about these is they are all linkable, so you can add multiple sets onto one plug or one solar panel to spread around your garden, because we've got quite a large garden, so we need sort of quite a few of them. So each set comes with its own plug and also spare bulb as well. To link up the multiple sets, you just unscrew the plug from one set, plug it in to the other set, like so, and then those two sets are linked by one plug, and then you can alter, then you can add multiple sets on to go around where you want to. So Benji will be able to see where it needs to go in at night. Good thing about these as well, all these are plastic bulbs, they're not glass, so there's no chance of you breaking a bulb. So each set is 25 foot long, which is 7.5 meters in new money. And you simply just link them together, spread them out, and work out where you're going to put them on.
Ain't gonna waste my precious time thinking of what do I do. I get them out of my mind. Them all the things I used to do. Ain't gonna waste my precious time thinking of what do I do. All trees come blossom, time is flying.
They're not quite long enough, are they? Perhaps a little better in the little courtyard once that's all done. But you can buy extensions and more of them to make it even longer. So that's 3 sets, which is quite long, but our garden's quite big. So we'll wait and see till later on when it's darker and turn them on and see what they look like.
I know you've got a secret like a child, you wanna keep it, but your shiny eyes reveal the simple truth. And every time you look at me, you start to smile immediately. It's funny, you don't have to say a word. And I know you're too shy to tell me what's on your heart, and life's too short for me to wait for you to be mine. I won't wait another day to tell you. I'm not afraid to say I love your way. And now there's nothing left to hide. I know you better than you know you.
We're getting there, Adam.
I keep getting bits stuck down my t-shirt.
Slowly but surely. This has been a time-consuming process. All of that white plasticky paint, layers and layers of it that have been applied over the decades. Trying to remove that has been a pain in the backside. But as I mentioned earlier, sandblasting wasn't an option this time. So we're almost there. Get this finished and then we can start repointing with lime mortar. However, the weather forecast is due to be rubbish this afternoon, so I'm not exactly sure how much repointing we'll get done, but we shall see how far we get. Where is it blocked, Adam?
It was blocked from the pipe, but I've shoved a hose pipe down there and it's unblocked itself.
In this pipe here, the white one?
Yeah.
It's unblocked now.
Uh-huh.
Oh, thank God for that. That looks really old, so taking that off and messing about would be a pain.
You don't want to be messing with that.
No.
Yeah. Ready for the next downpour.
The rain eventually stops and we're able to finish removing the old render and plasticky paint, followed by giving the wall a good brush to remove any bits of loose dirt and old mortar from between the gaps. Adam then gives it a blast with the leaf blower just to be sure that we're making it perfect for applying the new mortar.
So what do you think? Just dig this concrete out on the bottom here. Replace it with gravel or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Getting there slowly but surely. So we've got a strip of concrete. Is it concrete or cement? Concrete, isn't it? Which runs along the back of the cottage here, and it's butt right up against the wall. So we're going to dig that up because we, after looking for advice from different old building forums, it seems that there should be a row of gravel or something that will absorb the rain. And having concrete right next to the cottage isn't doing it any good at all. So let's get this up and we'll replace it with gravel further down the line.
Straight onto mud.
Good stuff, that's all out. So what we'll do is we'll put some temporary gravel here, just that pinky gravel that's around the other side of the cottage, just for the time being until we get around to replacing it with some nicer gravel. You may have noticed we're not really tackling this side of the door just yet. So the main reason we're tackling this bit, if you remember, I said we're building a cabin here, so it makes sense to do this wall before the cabin goes up, and then this wall here, and then that one, and the rest of the cottage.
I think we should offer volunteer holidays.
Volunteer holidays?
Yeah, so they can come and stay at the cottage free of charge, but they have to come and do some work for us.
That's a good idea. Adam, you're a genius. Free holiday at the cottage if you help us with the stonemasonry work. I love it.
A good idea.
It is a good idea. So yeah, so we're tackling this wall for now, and then at some point we will tackle the rest of the cottage. Okay, so the mortar we've gone for is the eco-based modified hydraulic mortar. And the difference between this and the more traditional, historically accurate mortar is this one has certain cement-free additives in it, which makes it easy to work with and cure slightly quicker. But more importantly, it's extremely breathable, it's flexible, and it's more durable than the more traditional lime mortar. So that makes it perfect for our cottage in Scotland, where we have a lot of damp weather and a lot of cold. But all you need to do with this one is you need to just add water. There's no messing about, mixing different ratios and everything. Like I said, it's easy to work with, so that makes it perfect for novices like myself and Adam. So let's see how we get on with this. But the main thing is, it's still breathable and flexible. Just going over this one more time to make sure all of the cement is out, and lo and behold, there was huge wads of cement stuck in there, which has meant that all of these stones are falling out. So we're going to have to try and pack that back up with pinning stones and just layer the lime mortar thinner layers at a time so that it will cure properly. Is that all the cement out now, do you think?
I hope so. Because that's not supposed to be like that.
No.
I think that will be the first bit to sort out.
Well, yeah. The guy at the masonry store, he said layer it up kind of like 3.5 centimeters at a time, thinner layers. Because if you just wad a load of lime mortar in there, it won't cure properly, and it'll just fall out. But that's quite a big gap, isn't it, to try and fill?
Yeah. We've got a nice big stone there, don't we?
Yeah.
I've got a nice big stone I can use.
You've got a nice big stone.
Mm-hmm.
What, in the garden?
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be better than all of these little bits of stones that came out.
Curling stone?
A curling stone? Oh, that'd be cool. It'd certainly be different anyway.
That's different. As my mother would say.
Wouldn't it, Benji? That'd be different. Yeah? Because it's quite a warm day, you probably want it a little bit wetter than normal, because you don't want it to dry out too quickly.
That is quite wet. So just water to dampen down the surface. So when you put the lime mortar on, it doesn't, the sort of the dry stones and water which is there doesn't just suck all the moisture out of the new stuff, and it cracks and doesn't hold. So you've got to spray.
Your dad will be proud of you, Adam, doing these traditional stonemasonry techniques.
Mm-hmm. If I do it right, I'm sure you'll tell me if I'm doing it wrong.
Must admit, I am struggling to have it on a, what do you call the thing?
Board.
A board. Because when I'm trying to scrape it up, it's just falling off the edge of the board onto the floor. Mm. So I'd seen a stonemason on YouTube, good old YouTube, and he was just scooping up globs of the mortar in his hand, in his gloved hand like that, and then it was easier to work with for smaller areas like this, I mean. Mm. Oh, he says as he's dropping it all over the place.
Yeah, I keep doing.
How's it going, Adam?
Slowly.
It's a slow process, isn't it? It's quite therapeutic though. At least you're not handling noisy, vibrating machinery.
No.
So that's a good thing. So apparently you need to leave it probably 1 to 2 hours, 1 to 3 hours, because the weather's quite warm, until it's thumbprint dry.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is you can press your thumb into it, it leaves a slight dent, but it doesn't squish or pull it away or anything.
Right.
Once it's thumb dry, get the brush and give a brush over and whack it to give it the texture and brush all the bits off. I see you've used my technique of holding it in your hand rather than on the board. Do you find that easier?
Yeah, kind of. I haven't really tried the board yet because I've been doing this bit, which is this where was the massive hole. So that's all in, that's in, but I want to let that cure a bit before I do these final bits.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not putting like masses in at once.
Yeah, yeah.
At least now there's not a gaping hole.
Yeah. So what I'm now doing is I'm just whacking it with a brush lightly to force it in and brush off any, what are they called?
Snotters.
Snotters. Snotters, which are the bits that kind of lip over onto the stone that water potentially can get into. Benjamin? That'd be good for Labradors. Yeah? Cool then, let's go.
And that brings us to the end of this week's episode. It's been a tough old week with all of this stonemasonry work, but we feel like we're definitely making progress and it'll all be worth it in the end. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey as we strip back the layers of this old cottage. We really do appreciate you following along. It's like having friends around to visit every weekend. If you like this video, please remember to give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already, as it really does help us keep creating these weekly episodes. But before we go, Adam popped back to the village planters to tend to them and to put in some more plants. The three of us wish you a fantastic week and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.